Hey guys, today we're going to learn about percent of change. The percent of change describes how much a quantity increases or decreases in comparison to the original amount. So when we find our percent of change, we're going to put the amount of change, what's happening to the original number on top, and then put the original number on bottom. Let's first just practice finding percent of a number. In a recent survey, 4 out of 25 people like the color orange. What percent of people like the color orange? So 4 out of 25, and we're looking for a percent. We're going to start with finding or making our fraction. Okay, so 4 will go in the numerator and 25 in the denominator. And we're going to do first in, last out. And then 25 does not go into 4, but it will go into 40 one time with 15 left over. Add a 0 and bring it down, and 25 goes into 150 6 times. 6 times 25 is 150, and we are done. So we have 0.16, and we want to change this to a percent. So to change this decimal to a percent, we move it over 2 times to the right, and this would be equal to 16%. Okay, let's try a percent of change question. Remember, it's the amount of change over the original amount. Amber got a raise and her hourly wage increased from $8 to $9.50. What is the percent of increase? So however much it increased by needs to go on with the numerator, and then the denominator will be the original amount of her hourly wage. Now we know that it went from $8 to $9.50, so to find the increase, we're going to take these two numbers and subtract them. This will tell us the difference between the two. 8 needs to go directly under the 9 with a decimal and a 00 after it. $9.50 minus $8 would be $1.50. And so let's set this fraction up. So the amount of change, the $1.50, goes on top, and then the original amount, we started with $8. So that goes on bottom, and let's divide first in, last out. 8 does not go into 1, so we put 0 and bring the decimal up. 8 does go into 15 one time. We're going to subtract 8. Which would be 7 left over, add a 0, bring it down. 8 goes into 78 times. 8 times 8 is 64. And then we'll have 6 left over, add a 0, bring it down. 8 goes into 67 times. 8 times 7 is 56. 4 left over, add a 0, bring it down. 8 goes into 45 times. 8 times 5 is 40, and we are done. So I'm getting the number 0.1875, and to change a decimal to a percent, let's move it over 2 times, and so that would be equal to 18.75%. If it was a multiple choice question and they were all whole number percentages, this would round up to 19%. Alright, let's try the last one. So David has 89 sheep, but 38 ran away. What is the percent of decrease in the amount of sheep that ran away? So remember the amount of change over the original. Now, we know that 38 ran away, so he lost this many sheep. So this is the amount of change. So in the problem before, we had to subtract to to find the difference between the starting and the ending number, but since we don't know the ending number, we know how many were lost. We don't have to subtract this time. So our fraction will be 38 over 89. And let's divide. 38 goes inside and 89 goes outside, and we use the 89 because that's how much he originally started with. Okay, 89 does not go into 38, so add a 0, a decimal, and then a 0 inside. 89 goes into 380 4 times. Let's do 89 times 4. 32 plus 3 is 35. So let's subtract 356. We get 24 left over. Add a 0, bring it down. 89 goes into 240 2 times. We have 178, so we'll put a 2 on top and subtract the 178. 23 minus 17 would be 6. Add a 0, bring it down. We're just going to go one more time. 89 goes into 620, I believe, 6 times. So let's try that. 89 times 6. 48 plus 5 is 53. And I'm going to go ahead and stop here, so there's no need to keep going. So I'm getting 0.426, and then we want to change this to a percentage. So I'm going to move the decimal over 1 2 times, and so that would be equal to 42.6%. And then if we had a multiple choice answers and they were all whole numbers and you had to choose between 42 and 43%, this 6 would bump the 2 up to 3, so it would be 43%. Okay guys, we reviewed how to set up a fraction and make a percent, and then we learned about percent of change. It's telling us the percentage of increase or decrease between two values. Remember, it's the amount of change over the original amount. Thanks for watching.